Hello everyone, and welcome back to Tasker's Barbecue Supply. Today, we're going to be smoking up a couple Boston butts and making some delicious pulled pork, so stay tuned. Hey everyone, before we get to the video, I'd just like to thank you all for watching. If you're new to our channel, please make sure you hit the subscribe button so that you can be alerted of our future videos and help us bring you better videos in the future. As most of you know, I'm a dealer for Killer Hogs Barbecue, Butcher Barbecue, Cookin' Pellets, and also Green Mountain Grills. But if you're not near us and you can't get to us to buy product, I put a link in the description below for all the products I use. Now there are also some products that we use that we don't carry. We get all those from Amazon using Amazon Prime. I'll put a link in the description below so you can get a 30-day free trial of Amazon Prime. So if you have any comments or future suggestions for videos, please drop them in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy the video. A lot of people, and even some of my customers, seem very timid when they first get into the smoking or using a pellet grill for doing major cooks. Everybody's comfortable with the steaks, the burgers, simple things. But they get nervous when they start getting into large chunks of meat. Well, today we're going to show you an easy piece of meat that you can use, make a delicious meal for your friends and family, and not have to feel timid about it. It's very simple. All you have to do is follow the steps we're going to show you today, and you'll have a fabulous turnout. So today, we've got two 9-pound pork butts, or Boston butts as they're most referred to because they are bone-in. We picked these up at our local Sam's Club. Very nice prices at our local Sam's Club. We do most of our meat shopping there. So I'm going to show you how to get this seasoned up and ready to put on the grill. I'm going to be doing two of them. I'll show you how to go about seasoning one of them, and then we'll meet you out there to put these on the grill. Now for our cook today, we're going to be starting these late at night. These are probably going to go on at around 11 or 12 p.m. because they need to be ready early in the morning for me to put in the cooler to rest to take to our picnic. We're going to pull them on site. We may not get video of that, unfortunately, but we're going to pull these on site. That way it's fresh, hot, and juicy for everybody at the picnic. So we're going to show you how to get this seasoned up so that you can prepare for success. All you have to do to start is get a good mustard binder on there to hold your seasonings on, and we'll show you how. So most of my pork butts, I just use a simple yellow mustard as a binder. And all this is going to do is give you a nice tacky base that's going to keep your rubs and everything stuck to this pork butt. It's not going to do much for the flavor. You're not going to taste mustard, so don't worry about that. The vinegar in it helps very slightly, not a whole lot. So don't worry about the flavor. It's just something to use to keep your rubs stuck to it so that it's not falling off. It also helps create a nice bark, which is what you want on the outside of your pork butt while it's smoking. So let's get this rubbed down with some yellow mustard and we'll get it seasoned up. It doesn't take a whole lot of mustard. I'm going to put some on so I can get it all down the sides. You just want a nice coating over everything. Get down on any nooks and crannies that are open. And you'll notice I have some foil down. It makes for great, easy cleanup. You don't have to re-sanitize everything on the counter. And you're not going to make a mess all over your countertop. So it's super simple. Like I said, make sure you get all your sides. Flip it over here and get the top side. Now we are going to be cooking this fat side down as we're cooking on a pellet grill. Most of our heat comes from below, so we want that fat cap to try to protect most of our meat. Now when we wrap it, a lot of times I'll flip it over. When we wrap, this fat cap is going to absorb down through the meat, so a lot of times I like to flip it upside down when I wrap it. Let the fat soak down through. It produces a really nice, tender, juicy product at the end. Okay guys, now that we've got our mustard binder on, it's time for seasoning. Today, we're going to be using Killer Hogs The Barbecue Rub. As most of you know, I'm a dealer for Killer Hogs Barbecue, and you know that The Barbecue Rub is one of my favorite seasonings. I use it on almost everything I can, but it really shines on pulled pork. We don't like to do anything very hot when we're doing it for a big crowd, because you might find that some people don't like something that's very spicy, especially on their pulled pork. So we try to keep our flavors pretty mild, a little sweetness to it. So we're going to be using the barbecue rub, followed up by some of my special rib rub. So let's get this seasoned up. Okay, we're going to be starting with the barbecue rub. I like to do a pretty decently thick layer on this to give it a good, nice, solid bark. I don't go very heavy with my rib rub because it has a lot of sugar in it and I don't want it overly sweet, so I get a little bit heavier on the barbecue rub. So I'm just going to get this over top of all of my mustard so I can hold that on as my binder. Like I said, you can see I do a pretty decent covering. I like a real nice, heavy, thick bark on mine. Okay, now that we've got our barbecue rub on here, it's time to come back with a little bit of sweet rib rub. It's mostly what I use on my ribs, things like that I like some more sweetness to, but I like to top it off a little bit of my pulled pork because I think it gives it a great sweetness flavor at the end. So let's get a little coat of that on here and we'll be ready to go. And for those who've asked, yes, I do sanitize at all my tables. I sanitize all my seasoning bottles and everything when I'm done. I know you see a little cross-contamination. Don't worry, everything gets sanitized when I'm done. Okay, so let's get a little bit of our sweet rib rub on here. And again, I don't go super heavy with this. Light little dusting on top of everything. Alright everyone, as you can see, we got our pork butt all seasoned up, and I got it in one of our disposable aluminum pans. I'm going to get the other one done here in just a moment. They're both going to go in the refrigerator, set for a couple hours until we're ready to put them on the smoker. We're going to be running, of course, some Cooking Pellets Perfect Mix with a little bit of extra cherry added to it for a little bit of extra flavor on this pork. We're going to be taking some of our Killer Hogs vinegar sauce with us. I'm not going to be putting any on before we sandwich it up for people, in case they don't like barbecue sauce, but I will have some there available for them. So until then, we'll see you guys when we get ready to put them on the smoker. See you back then. Alright everybody, we're back. It's about 11 p.m. We're ready to get these pork butts on the smoker at 225 degrees. Let them sit for a few hours until they get to about 165 internal temperature. So if you've been following our process so far, all we've done is put a nice mustard binder down on these pork butts, put the desired seasoning you want over top of them. You come out to your pellet smoker, your pellet grill, whatever you might be using. Keep the temperatures in the 225 to 250 degree range. Put your pork butts on and let them go. Spritzing's not necessary if you don't want to. We don't do it. Just let these roll until they're right about 165 internal temperature. Once your pork butts get to about 165, we're going to pull them off, wrap them up. I don't put anything else in with them. I just wrap them in 2 layers of foil, put them back on the grill, and I bump my temperatures up, depending on my time range, anywhere from 250 to 275. Like I said, I'm going at 225 right now. So we're going to put these on, and we'll see you back here when it hits 165 internal temperature. And as you can see, we're rolling some nice, beautiful smoke out of this at 225 with some Cooking Pellets Perfect Mix. I did add a little bit of cherry into it to give it some extra cherry flavor, even though the Perfect Mix has some cherry in it. I like the cherry flavor on these pork butts a good bit. So let's get them on, get the probes in it, get our lid closed, and let these puppies set. We're going to go in and rest and let these do their work. So let's get them on the grill. We're just going to set each one directly in the center of each rack. Then we're going to put a meat probe in each one so we can watch the temperatures from our phone. That's what we love about our RecTech Bull. I can watch all my temperatures from my phone. I don't have to be out here opening up the grill and monitoring it 24/7. It does everything for me. So while I'm inside, it'll tell me if my temperatures of my grill race are lower too much. It'll also tell me what the temperatures of my pork butts are so that I know the exact moment I need to come outside and get them wrapped up. So let's get these puppies set in some smoke, and we'll see you guys back here in a little bit. Alright, welcome back everybody. It's 6 a.m. These pork butts have been on for 7 hours. Now, as you've been following us till now, I have not touched these. I haven't lifted my grill lid or anything since we put them on. All I've been doing is monitoring our temperatures remotely from my phone and making sure that we're coming along nicely. We've hit 160 degrees in both pork butts, so they're ready to be wrapped. We're going to bump the temperature up to 250 degrees and let them go through their wrap stage, probably go through their stall, and we're going to take them up to about 200 to 205 degrees, and then we'll put them in our cooler. So if you're new to this, again, all we've done, 225 degrees, put them on, and not touched them until they get to 160 degrees. Now we're going to take them off and wrap them. You see, I'm just wearing rubber gloves with cotton liners underneath. I'll put a link to the cotton liners in the description below so that you can pick up some of these. It makes it nice for taking hot items off the grill without having to have any type of special gloves other than these. They're very cheap. They come in 12 packs, so they're inexpensive. They're easy to get a hold of. So pick some up. It makes it easy for taking hot stuff off the grill. So let's get getting these things wrapped up. So all we're going to be doing is taking these off, putting them in our wrap. I've got 4 pieces of tin foil already down here ready to go. I'm going to be putting them fat side down, wrapping them, flipping them, and then wrapping them again. That way we have the meat side down and the fat cap up. When we wrap them and put them back on the grill, I like to put the fat cap up because as it heats up with that foil on it, the fat will absorb down through that meat and it'll make it nice and tender when you take it back out of the wrap. So let's get them wrapped up now. We'll bring this out for the camera. It has an excellent bark on it. As you can see, it's plenty juicy. Let's get these wrapped up back on the grill. So again, I'm going to go fat cap up. I'm sorry, fat cap down. Wrap it up nice and tight. Then we're going to flip it. That way our fat cap's up, and that's going to get the most potential down through our meat, make it nice and tender. That's it. It's ready to go back on the grill. So I'm going to get this one wrapped up here, put it back on. We'll be back in just a second. Okay guys, we've got both these wrapped up, back on the grill. I'm just going to insert my temperature probes back down right through the foil so that I can continue to monitor my temperatures. that grill closed up. So I've just started into the stall phase. And if you're unfamiliar with what that is, especially with pork butts, you're gonna hit a stall. So when you get to right around the 160, 170 area, you're gonna hit a point where your meat doesn't really get any higher in temperature, it just stays. What's happening is the moisture inside that meat is starting to evaporate out and cook out, and it's basically starting to sweat, just like, you know, human sweat. And it cools the exterior of the meat and doesn't let the temperature come up on the meat. What you have to do is just push through it, okay? Just let it go. What I do is usually when I hit my stall is when I wrap, because that's gonna push through it a little bit quicker than if I just let it on the grill without a wrap on it. So we did hit our stall. I've got it wrapped up. That'll push me through a little bit. I'm actually gonna bump my temperature up to 250 degrees also, so that will help some too. All we're gonna do now is just let them go until they hit about 205 degrees internal temperature. At that point, I'm going to take them off and I'm going to put them in a cooler. I'm not going to touch anything. Take them right off in a cooler, wrapped in a towel, and they're going to stay there until we're ready to pull. Now, like I said, these are going for a picnic here. I'm going to hope to get some video of us pulling these. I have a pulling tool that I drop it down in a little stainless steel pot, and I can pull both these pork butts in under 3 minutes. It's a fantastic tool. I'll put a link in the description below for it, so if you do a lot of pork butts, it'll help you out. We're just going to let these sit, and we'll be back here in a little bit. Welcome back, everyone. It's now 9:30 a.m. We're back out at the grill. Our pork butts have now been on for 10.5 hours. They're both at 205 degrees, so they're ready to come off and be put in the cooler to rest. Now, if you're new to this, you can go ahead, unwrap them, check them out, make sure it's where you like it. But I know from experience that 205 degrees is perfect temperature. Pull the pork butts off, put them in the cooler, and let them rest. Now, resting period, is it crucial? I like to do it. We usually like to do at least an hour if possible, but if you're in a hurry and you don't have time to rest it, you don't have to. It will kind of help with the tenderization of the meat, but that's up to you. So, as you can see, we have not touched these since I put them back on the grill in the rack. This is why we said earlier, this is a very simple process that a lot of people kind of get too worried about. Pork butts are easy to do. The hardest part about it, other than waiting, is getting them seasoned. Once you get them seasoned properly and you learn how to do that, the rest of it comes easy. Put them on at 225, let them go. Once you get to 165 internal temperature, wrap them, put them back on the grill at anywhere from 225 to 250. Let them go till they're at 205, pull them off. It's that simple. So let's get these things pulled off and put them in the cooler. Pull both my meat probes out, and all I'm going to do is set both of these right down in the cooler. I'm not even going to open them up or anything. I don't want to release any of that steam. I want to keep it all in there because this is going to be transported up to the picnic area. Right, we've got both our pork butts in the cooler. We're just going to take a towel and put over top, just kind of keep the heat down in. Pack that towel around them. Shut our cooler, shut our grill. We're ready to go. So all we're going to do is we're going to transport these pork butts up to the picnic area later, and we're going to pull them on site. If you're having a picnic around your house or you're taking them to an area, that's the best way to do it because you don't lose any heat, you don't lose any moisture. It's going to be nice and tender, juicy, and hot when you get ready to serve it. If you don't have the time to do it then, or you don't want to do it at the area, you can go ahead and pull it now and either put it in a serving pan and keep it warm, or you can actually even pull this now and use it tomorrow or the day after. You can pull it, put it in the refrigerator, and warm it back up in the oven. Pulled pork does do really well warming it back up. But that's what we're going to be doing today, is taking it with us and pulling it there. Alright everyone, just to kind of go over a little bit of what we did today. Last night, we took our pork butts, we put a mustard binder on them, just smeared a little bit of yellow mustard over top of them, sprinkled our seasoning on, and we used Killer Hog's The Barbecue Rub and some My Sweet Rib Rub.
After we got our seasoning sprinkled on, we put them in the refrigerator to rest for a few hours. We came out at 11 p.m. last night, got our Rectech fired up at 225 degrees using some Cooking Pellets Perfect Mix with a little bit of extra cherry pellets added to it. And that's all we had to do. We threw our pork butts on, let them go at 225, didn't touch them, didn't check them. Watched our temperatures from our digital probe, waited for 165. Once they hit 165, we came out, wrapped them in 2 layers of foil. We didn't add anything to the foil, just wrapped them up, stuck them back on the grill, and waited to see 205 degrees internal temperature. Once we hit 205 degrees internal temperature, we put them in our cooler, wrapped them up in towels. We're going to let them sit. That's all there is to it. So you can see, this is why I said it's a simple process. Don't be scared about it. Try it. You'll love it. I hope this video has helped you, and I hope it gives you some techniques to use along the way. If you like it, make sure you subscribe to our channel. You can also check out our Facebook page at Tasker's Barbecue Supply. If you have any suggestions for future videos, please let us know in the comments below.